Hey guys, and welcome to Tuesday Night Lowdown. I'm your host, Levels of Wrestling. Some of you may know me as the infamous Leveler LOW. That's right, I'm now infamous. I'm enjoying my fame on Twitter. Um, Tonight, guys, we are doing the usual. We are running through all the Raw recaps. We're going to give you a little bit of our mailbag. We're going to go through our standard pop and heat sections. We'll be giving you some fairly unpopular opinions to share amongst yourself. And of course, we'll give you the three categories for our first awards for the Lowies, which I know you guys are waiting for. So joining us tonight, we have Chris Lamb. We've got Krista, we've got Rensis, and of course, we've got Paul joining us for the first time in about 2 weeks because he's too lazy. Oh, look at that. Look, he's here and then he leaves, then he comes back, just like that. How are we all doing tonight,
guys? I'm here. Sorry.
Yeah, you're here. How you doing, man?
Oh, good. Good to be back.
Yeah, good to have you back.
Yeah, you guys have me for like at least the first half hour. So.
That's awesome. At least the first half hour.
Yeah.
And of course, Skeletor joins us as well. Last moment.
And I brought my tag team partner with me. So.
Hey,
guys, this may not be exciting to anyone else, but we have a full cast for the first time in 3 weeks.
This is exciting.
This is exciting, and I'm glad we're all here. So, because we're in the first hour, I think we should announce the first LOWIE category going. So, without a crap drum roll, please. There we go. We are offering you the best, worst attire in WWE 2014. So we're going to be posting up our categories at the end of each show so that you guys can vote on who has the best, worst attire of 2014 in WWE. But anyway, let's get the show started properly. What did everyone think of Raw last night? Francis, let's start with you. How'd you find it, man?
It's a decent show. I couldn't get overly excited about it, especially since it's a go-home show. I guess I'm a little old school. I have high expectations for go-home shows, and apparently WWE just really doesn't view it that way anymore. But it was a good, solid show, and I thought they did a good job of selling us on why Orton versus Cena Part 79 or whatever it is important enough to be interested in.
I must have missed that because I still think it's not important.
Well, you never do.
Negativity in the camp. 3 minutes in.
CM Punk's not in the match, so how is it going to be important?
Yeah, if we're not calling up Sami Zayn, then he doesn't think that there should be a company. So
damn straight.
Tell you what then, Chris, what did you think? Give me your opposing views to Rensis as per usual. How did you find Raw?
Considering the state that Raw has been in as of the past few weeks, whereby I've been watching it in hopes that it will get better, I was actually kind of glad coming out of that it wasn't as bad as it has been. But there were improvements, and there were bits there that made me laugh, like the stuff with Ambrose researching by watching See No Evil 2. That, to me, was very, very good writing. But then, of course, you had the other side with the bad puns when he brought out a dummy, and yeah. The show overall had its ups and downs. Like, I did enjoy the street fight, which wasn't a street fight.
Yeah, the non-street fight, if you will.
Street fight just means no DQ. That's all it's meant for like 10 years.
Only Chris can have the exact same opinion that I have and argue with me at the same time.
Tell you what, we'll get onto that in a bit. But let's get the opinion from the ever lovely Krista. How are you doing? How did you find Raw?
Well, I actually changed the channel after the first 2 hours. I'm sad to say, but I do have to say a big thing for me. Absolutely, Ambrose is always good when he's on screen. For a go-home show, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. You'd think that they'd put more emphasis in the lead up to Hell in a Cell. I'm not exactly happy by the all of a sudden Randy and John's Hell in a Cell match is now a number one contenders match. Like, how the fuck did that happen? Excuse my language. It's another excuse to give either Orton or Cena another shot at the title, where you have some up and comers who are main event level who should be given that opportunity later down the line.
Some strong words there, and we're definitely going to hit on the new opportunities, the new stars coming up. Skeletor, you bag of bones. How was Raw?
Oh, you didn't introduce me as the lovely.
Oh, sorry. The ever attractive, almost forever stunning Skeletor. How did you find Raw?
Okay, there we go. Raw was pretty entertaining. Like, it had some slump bad bits, but like, I didn't really care for the Dean Ambrose. Like, I liked him in the back a little bit, but that freaking pulling out the puppet, mannequin, and tonguing the mannequins across, like, fake cock. Like, I don't know what he was doing. That whole segment was not great. I liked multiple matches. I think Cody and Goldust got their first win since becoming tag team champions. Friggin' Damien Mizdow won on Raw. That was nice.
Oh.
So it was generally good. I preferred last week because last week was just a bunch of cool wrestling matches back to back to back. But this was decent enough. It's fine.
Yeah, well, let's get your tag team partner's view on the whole situation on Raw. How did you find it, Paul?
Oh, well, it was the first Raw that I've watched more than 50% of in probably a month. So it doesn't mean that it was a great show, but it did enough to make me want to watch to watch Hell in a Cell on Sunday. Randy Orton just totally dominated that show for me in a good way. He's back to just relevancy, and he has that edge that we haven't seen since he was in Legacy. So yeah, I'm actually excited to watch Randy Orton, see what he does.
The crowd interrupting him and then him just losing his mind and just calling their baseball team like the worst stuff is amazing.
Oh, he was absolutely amazing. It was a little bit overkill. I mean, you had 3 segments with him in the first hour, but at the end of the night, he was the MVP of Raw for me. So, yeah, he was fantastic. It looks like they're working towards him and Lesnar, which I'm totally okay with. It'll be a nice change, and I'm not gonna say anything about Ambrose. So.
That's a good shout, man. Well, tell you what, I must have woke up this morning with my head in the right place, because I watched Raw, and it is the first Raw I've watched and been interested in. Like, I managed to focus on Raw. I haven't done that in a long time. So, I mean, yeah, I understand the complaints coming from it, but at the same time, I understand this is the best Raw we've had in weeks. So I'm not going to complain about it too much, but I'm going to hope that it gets better from here. The whole night was great. I loved the inclusion of the cell at the end of the night. It's always nice that they tease that a little bit, show you a little bit of what you're going to get, and then take it away. They give it to you, and then they take it away, like some kind of gentle lover. And that's what I like about Raw last night. It was like a gentle, loving Raw. For those of you who don't understand, we're going to be PG tonight, and I'm going to do my best to remain calm about it. But it's all good, so thank you for joining us. If you guys
The F-bomb.
What was that, Krista?
I've already dropped the F-bomb.
Yeah, we've still got one more to go. We got one more to go. Guys, if you're listening tonight, we want to get your thoughts on Twitter. If you let us know what you thought about Raw last night, we'll shout it out and let the world know how the WWE Universe is feeling about Raw. But tell you what, moving on, let's hit a little bit of our mailbag, seeing as we've had some lovely questions in this week. Obnoxious CJ Webb asks, is it time for the veterans to be pushed aside? And if so, who should be the first to go? Who wants to open up the field, guys?
I will.
Go for it.
In my mind, yes. There's a lot of talk about how they pull in the seat, they pull in buy-ins, they get butts in the seats, and that's all fine and good. But in my mind, when you have them come back for matches, like The Rock versus Cena, once in a lifetime that they ended up making twice in a lifetime, which basically took away from the whole hype anyway. It's a spot on the card that could go to someone who is an up-and-comer, who shows promise, who does deliver. It's taking a spot away from them. At least that's my point.
Wow, sorry, I just received a tweet that completely blew my mind. Thanks, John Tibbs, for that. But just let you fans know, John Tibbs says, having lived with Levels for a year, I know he's a gentle lover. Let's just clear something up, shall we, John? You touched me. It was inappropriate, man. Do you know what, Krista? I kind of agree with what you were saying. I think it would be nice to see the new guys get a little bit of spotlight, but for me personally, I understand why we keep some of the veterans. I think maybe it's time for the veterans not to disappear, but to step into the background and let the new guys kind of get a push from them. You know, in the old way, the old school way, where they would put over the new guy before they leave. I think maybe we're going to start seeing that too.
I have one request. Can we now change? Can we now change Levels of Wrestling to the initials from LOW to GLOW, so it can be Gentle Lover of Wrestling?
No one can, and don't give our listeners idea. You know, John's going to make a T-shirt now. Thanks, man.
GLOW. Oh, come on, Gentle Lover of Wrestling. Yeah. Sounds fantastic.
So just for that, Paul, what do you think about the veterans staying in WWE? Is it?
Well, you have to have the gatekeepers. You know, you have to have the guys that usher in the new era. So it's still necessary to keep some of these guys around, like Cena and Orton, active guys. As far as part-time guys go, no, we don't need them.
So no more part-time.
Short and simple. Yeah, we don't need them. And if you are going to use them, you know, a one-off at a Royal Rumble or something like that is okay. But, you know, not an extended push like we almost got to see with Batista last year. No.
I agree. I think part-time guy is bad for the business. I understand why they need to be there. At certain times, it was nice to see Mick Foley come back, but he's not back for a match. Things like that are cool. Nostalgia pop. I can deal with those. Chris, what did you think? Do you think the match should leave? Should they stay? Should they go?
I think that some of them need to leave, but I can understand them keeping certain ones around. For example, guys like Mark Henry and Big Show. You don't get guys that are that big as often now. I can understand them maybe wanting to keep a guy like Big Show around. But at the same time, yeah, I agree that they need to be stepping to the side. I like what Big Show is doing working with Rusev. Like, that is something that I'm really behind. In terms of stuff like, Cena versus Orton potentially taking the main event again, I'm not so interested. I do think that it's a matter of, the older guys need to start to help the younger guys in the sense of putting them over, in the sense of kind of what Cena's been doing with Ambrose, almost.
So kind of letting them shine, but still being in the spotlight with them.
Well, at first, and then they need to obviously start to move away.
Okay.
Like, let's say, for example, they have one veteran work with one rookie. You've got an entirely new roster right there.
So then I ask, if your veterans are working with rookies, then what are your mid guys doing?
What do you mean?
Making puppies.
Like, if you've got guys like, you're talking about Orton and Cena, working with a new guy, like a rookie,
yeah.
What do you do with guys that have been there for 3 or 4 years? They're not classed as veterans, but they're not rookies, so what are they doing?
Well, depending on popularity, I mean, guys like Barrett to me should be a main eventer. Again, he should be working potentially with a rookie, but not in the sense that he's just there to put them over, in the sense that he can be there to make them look good without having to lose. But again, what Cena's been doing with Ambrose in some ways. He's helped him look good, but he hasn't, well, I don't want to jinx anything, but he hasn't beat Ambrose yet. So, I mean, it's one of those situations where, I can understand from a business perspective, you need to have draws. That's a fact. But the fact that all of, you get guys like Cena still in the spotlight, still taking the main event, that shouldn't be happening.
Fair enough. Skeletor, Rancis, tell you what do you think? You've been sitting patiently.
We've kind of been around this rodeo quite a few times already, so I'm not in a huge hurry to rehash it. But that's just not what Raw's for. Raw is for the mainstream audience. If you are a heavy consumer of the product, then things like NXT are the product that's designed for that consumer.
I agree. In fact, I completely agree with the fact that those who are taking in so much of the product that want something new, they've got the option to get something new. Those who like the recognized guys or may have just joined the product, they want to see the big names straight away. So keep them Raw. I kind of see the view there. Skeletor, what do you think, man?
Well, Randy Orton's 34, so we got like at least 5 to 10 more years of Randy Orton. And it's like I don't really see a need for those guys to move out. Like I'm pretty happy with the main event scene right now. We have some really cool new up-and-coming dudes, throwing down with the guys who've been there for 15 years. And like it's a really good main event shuffle right now. Better than it's been in a while. And I'm actually more worried about like the mid card, as Raw has felt like it has like a roster of 10 people the last few weeks. Where have Titus O'Neil, guys like Titus O'Neil gone? Like they're not anywhere. They're like most of the mid card guys, like Jack Swagger is almost never on Raw, or any of the other like pretty decent mid card dudes.
Well, they're main eventing.
Superstars.
Yeah, they're on main event.
Yeah, they're on main event.
Episodes of main event.
They're main eventing, man.
I feel like Jack Swagger can work he's a good worker. He doesn't have a lot of like personality and stuff, but
He's a good
match with like half of the dudes on the roster. So just put him out there and let him do stuff. Like I've seen the Rhodes Bros and Miz against Sheamus and the Usos like 4 times. Like I would have rather have seen just like anything. Though they did fix it by having Sandow join.
Anything, man. Anything but that.
I would just like to point out, this week was brilliant because of the Miz's reactions. Just saying.
They did save friggin' that match like the 8th time it's happened in the last 4 weeks by having friggin' Damian Mizdow replace him and win. And having Miz freak out about it.
I was just excited that Mizdow actually won.
Yeah, he rolled up the U.S. champion. It was fantastic.
Mizdow's awesome.
Dude, I'm waiting for him to like consume the Miz and become him. That's where this goes.
Snatchers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that the Miz gets boos and Sandow gets cheers.
Yeah, it's nice when that happens, isn't it?
That's perfect, man. That's the same thing that happened with Alex Riley, but Mizdow. Sandow is so much better than he was.
Alex Riley is the worst, so it's very easy to be better than Alex Riley.
No, that's not very nice.
It's very true, though.
I'm waiting for him to get released from the pre-shows and just cram Christian in there instead. Because Christian actually has interesting things to say sometimes.
May I say seriously, you cut Justin Roberts and you keep Alex Riley? Really? Seriously? Seriously?
Yeah, I don't understand that move either. Maybe Justin Roberts took more money because he's been around for like 15 years.
Help me understand this.
I can't.
What do you mean, help him understand? I mean, what's to understand?
Alex Riley over Justin Roberts. That's what's to understand. I think that kind of speaks for itself.
The face says it all.
It probably came down to money. It probably came down to how he interacted with the staff or not.
I'll tell you what, seeing as we can't decide why Alex Riley over Justin Roberts, viewers, let us know, why would WWE choose Alex Riley over Justin Roberts?
I just really need Jason, Albert, or Christian moved into Alex Riley's slot to get rid of him.
Can I jump in there and not do that? And can I have Christian instead of JBL? And
Yeah.
can I also have Christian instead of Jerry Lawler? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Can we
Can
do
we
that?
replace everyone? Can we
Yeah,
replace John Cena with Christian in the middle?
You also get Christian instead of Michael Cole.
Because Christian's like one of my top 10, 15 wrestlers ever. So I would love for him to replace everyone. Just he wrestles himself in the main event of Hell in a Cell.
He wrestles himself and still manages to injure his shoulder.
Oh no, he'll get a concussion and get pinned, but it's fine.
I don't think that would be PG though.
I mean, you don't want to see Christian wrestling himself. Wrestling himself.
Yeah,
You know,
give him like a broom handle or something. He'll be fine.
Yeah, we definitely want to see him with a broom handle. We're the gentle lovers of wrestling.
oh goddamn!
As Craig runs out the back door.
Man,
Thanks for Comedy Gold there, John.
so talking about PG boundaries, seeing as we're going to talk about Christian, wrestling himself. John Tibbs asks, how far can WWE push the PG boundary? Hell in a Cell is meant to be brutal. How far should they push it?
Well, the fact that we just had Dean Ambrose talking about Seth Rollins' testicles, I'm not too worried.
He also ice-picked that dummy. Like, he ice-picked that dummy in the face. And Mick Foley said that Dean was going to rip Seth's face off. So...
Yeah, but still, he was attacking people with ketchup and mustard 2 weeks ago. So, it's not like we're going to be traveling back to 1998 come this Sunday.
That was still interesting, though.
So,
Yeah,
I hate it.
I doubt we're going to get a Crimson Mask if that's what you're asking.
No,
yeah,
like,
there isn't going to be any of that.
Yeah, but it's like we have these crazy TLC and ladder matches where people fall 30 feet through tables and stuff, but yet we don't do anything in Hell in a Cell. Like, I feel like it's not that much more dangerous.
No, it is.
Cell.
It is, with the way that because the cells are bigger now than it was when Foley went off, I believe.
But
Yeah.
we're not going to get those types of spots.
I don't know, like, we got that off, like, they put up the tallest ladder at Money in the Bank, and had Seth Rollins superplex Dean Ambrose. And I feel like we might get something. It might not be like a Mick Foley awful thing, but I feel like we can get something.
Well, Mick Foley is a complete flaming idiot, so I don't think anybody is going to risk death anymore on TV. I think they've had just about enough of that. Thank you very much. But
we
Well,
could,
there's a reason,
we could
like-
see someone go through the cell possibly, but I don't see anyone going off it.
There's a reason, like, 2 guys from the main event in WWE and, like, from the Attitude Era are still wrestling. And it's because those guys got tore up.
yeah, the fact that Edge is retired now, it just makes me sad. I mean, some of the guys are still around in bits and pieces, working
Christian
part-time.
might be. I don't know what's happening with Christian anymore.
Yeah, he's half alive. You look at Angle, he's all broke up, and he wasn't even there for the worst of it.
No.
And you look at the Hardys. You look at the Hardys. You look at the Dudleys.
No, but Kurt Angle would start drinking after he saw that crucifixion on ECW.
Let's just knock on the Hardys there, because Jeff Hardy is still doing spots that he used to do. I mean, he took a couple of weeks back. He took the Swanton onto the steel steps.
Crazy.
Yeah, but it looks like Matt Hardy can barely move anymore. Like, he'll do one cool thing, and that's like his entire bit in like any match he has now.
Exactly. Yeah, he didn't look very good. He looks very stiff, almost like he's like fused together.
Yeah.
It looks bad, dude.
Matt looks like he's struggling to walk like half the time.
And in Jeff's defense, he has done enough drugs that even however long he's been sober, they're still in his system.
Yeah,
He's still not.
dude.
Paul is a jerk. Okay.
Dude, that's what that crap does to you. He doesn't feel pain. You can tase him like 6 times.
Paul is the biggest. Okay, I get jerk mail. Okay, you're a jerk. You're disrespectful. Paul is the biggest jerk on our show. I'm telling you, man.
I know Tuesdays have been missing this.
That's incredible.
You get jerk mail?
Oh yeah. You haven't heard about that?
No, man. You need to start doing that as a segment on here. Read out your top jerk mail.
Oh yeah, dude. I get you're disrespectful to people, and it's because I come off with an air like Mark Madden, I guess, like authoritative. It's just that I don't suffer idiocy very well. That's what it is.
A dude on a movie podcast I listened to read out a death threat he got for saying Transformers 4 was bad.
Transformers 4 sucked.
Yeah, of course it does. But you still got a freaking death threat for it.
I'm sorry, but 99% of Michael Bay movies suck. But yeah, we're getting off topic.
Oh, this is totally on topic.
Let's take it back to Raw. You want to talk about being disrespectful? How did you guys feel about Rusev super kicking and quote, American Army officer, unquote?
Well, since they got the uniform wrong, it doesn't really bother me. And since I'm British, it doesn't really bother me.
They did get the uniform wrong.
And, you know, we've already seen this. I mean, with Rob Conway and La Resistance. I mean, you know, in 2 weeks he's going to be a Russian sympathizer, so. But it got the point across. I mean, people were like up in arms on Twitter. It was pretty funny.
Up
like,
in arms.
Get it?
Arms.
Yeah, see what I did there?
I've never seen anyone struggle that much to get under the bottom rope in my life.
Oh, that was so funny. He was kicking like a fish out of water.
I didn't know what was happening. I thought he was being like attacked from behind. I didn't know what was happening.
I need to correct something there. Kicking like a fish out of water. Kicking like a fish out of water. That's Dolph Ziggler's job. Let's not make a mistake with that.
But not Dolph Ziggler super kick, man.
No. He's not Ziggler's not a fish. He's a dolphin. They're mammals. It's a little different.
Yeah.
So you guys didn't find it offensive, then? You're in the select few that didn't find it offensive.
I tweeted that out immediately that a lot of people, like, I didn't say that people would be offended, but I said that it was a risk, that they had taken a risk, because there are a lot of people who just believe that you shouldn't use armed forces as props. That's a very strong feeling for some people, like, to the point where they're willing to fight and kill you. I mean, it's really serious for some people. But at the same time, it's a calculated risk. You know, they were trying to do something edgy, and they've done a lot for Rusev in order to make him a monster, a really serious heel. We'll see if it pays off or not.
Yeah, people despise Rusev, which is a good thing. He's a good heel.
The only way I've liked it more is if you rip down an American flag.
Like, freaking, if he, like, tore down the American flag and then kicked that dude and then, like, friggin', like, draped the American flag over him or something.
I'm pretty sure
like, poured battery acid on his car.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure the company would be out of business.
I'm waiting for him to burn a Hulkamania shirt, so that's what I'm waiting for. He hasn't reached super mega heel until he's done that. So
he's gonna throw the ECW title in the trash.
He really should super kick Hogan, like for real.
Yep, super kick Hogan. Have those curly boots, and then burn a pink Hogan shirt.
That's what he needs. He needs like a stupid prop that we pretend is like super dangerous, like those boots.
He's got the metal. I'm surprised he hasn't used the metal.
Yeah. He looks like something ridiculous where he's like, that's 46 pounds of gold, Nigel.
So it's like the Superman's key to the Fortress of Solitude. It's like made out of dwarf star material.
So it's like 8 million pounds. It'll kill you instantly. Like, because like when JR used to call stuff, steel steps got heavier and heavier by the day.
I'm at there were 200-pound steps by Royal Rumble 2000.
Yeah, freaking 200-pound steel
Steps
steps
by
that bounce when you drop them.
Well, they probably weigh a bit to hold up those wrestlers that walk up them, but
Well, they probably do weigh like 30, 40 pounds or something, but not 200.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with like 20 pounds, dude.
but it doesn't.
Okay, 20
you know,
pounds.
200 pounds is more dramatic.
Yeah, I'm cool with the over-dramatic stuff. Like, I think they said that the Iron Sheik had 30 pounds of metal in his boot.
Dude, those stairs are scarcely more sturdy than the aluminum pans that they use in those fake anything goes matches, the supposedly hardcore matches where they're, it's basically aluminum foil formed into stairs. They weigh like next to nothing.
I know someone who took like an actual cookie sheet and hit someone with it.
Did you just say aluminum?
Those buggers hurt.
Yeah, it hurts like a bitch.
So let's move to the next segment of our show tonight.
Popping
Tonight, Rum, this is your fashion segment. You got Ren's fashion before we go popping heat. So you tuned in.
I copied what you had down.
That's what I'm saying. We got Ren's fashion.
Yep.
It's fashion first. We're doing fashion first.
We're doing fashion first.
I'm not gonna take Christus. I'm not gonna take Christus.
Thank you.
She's got a very good and very interesting fashion. I'm gonna go with Lana.
Just as a fashion icon, or
I've gotten to a point where I'm absolutely convinced that she has a tailor that one person is making all those outfits for her, because it's just the same outfit over and over again in different colors. And I don't know, is there anywhere where you can go to buy something that looks like that? Is that a real thing, like in a real store that you can go to buy?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of Ann Summers, Ren.
I've not.
It's essentially a lingerie shop that sells costume outfits that look like slutty secretaries. That's what Lana has done.
And that's why everyone loves Answers.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the same person who made her that like 9-foot weave that you put in a bun.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's gonna use her hair as a weapon at some point.
Dude, if she doesn't friggin' like knock out John Cena with the bun, I will be very disappointed. I mean, there's at least like 80 pounds of hair in there.
So that's my fashion statement. My fashion statement is I think Lana actually has someone who makes that stuff for her. I don't think she's going to the store and finding the exact same outfit over and over and over again, just in different colors.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Lana's hair officially weighs more than the steel steps.
I'm 180% sure of that.
I'm 186% sure of it.
Yeah, something.
Off? Wow, that's not even cool, man. That's not even close to being sure.
I'm not quite 186% sure, but 180% sure.
Krista, do you want to give everyone your fashion tips? Seeing as you were discussing quite a good topic earlier.
My fashion my fashion don't really is the dusters that some of the wrestlers wear to the ring. Those big blonde coats without the sleeves. They look ridiculous. They do.
I'm suggesting that you mean like...
I'm going to be honest with you. Dusters only really look good on cowboys and the occasional biker. On the everyday Joe, they don't look so good.
No, I just bought one.
Don't tell Michael Elgin. Don't tell him.
You know, but like if you're gonna buy a duster, buy an oilskin duster with the, buy the cowboy duster. Damn it.
Dude, Michael Elgin had a mullet. I don't think he cares about what you think about his appearance.
It doesn't matter what you think.
I bet he does. I bet he goes home and he cries every day knowing that he had a mullet for years, with thinking they were cool.
They were cool, man. They were.
Business up front, party in the back.
Dude, I kind of love mullets, mostly because Kurt Russell has an amazing mullet. So you can't
but
diss
that's
the mullet too much.
The only thing Billy Ray Cyrus ever did in his life was have a mullet. His
I'll tell you
daughter, no.
Billy Ray Cyrus had like a white trash mullet. Kurt Russell had a tasteful one.
What about the Havoc mullet?
No.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Skrillex haircut, which is unusual. But no, it looks kind of weird. But it's the only person I've ever seen do it. So if she wants to keep that, I'm cool with that.
She scares me.
She scares everyone. Like, she could eat karma for breakfast.
Oh no, I don't. I'd like to see that match. I'm betting on Karma.
Karma weighs like 50 or 60 pounds more than Havoc.
Actually, Karma's lost a lot of weight.
Well,
Yeah, she looks. For her, she looks fantastic.
yeah, Karma as of like 2009, I guess.
Karma when she was in the Rumble.
Oh yeah, she was big then.
I don't know why, but one of my favorite like dumb things was when TNA used to, when she was Awesome Kong, and TNA used to announce her as being 281 1/6 pounds.
Is she a hamburger?
1/6 makes all the difference, mate.
1/6 just made it for me.
Okay, Malcolm, it makes a difference.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you my fashion tip of the week. I love the Miz's jacket. The Miz's jacket specifically because it makes me hate the Miz even more. It's such a heel coat, it's doing its job.
Yeah, you're getting worked, bro.
I'm getting
Hey, that's my article, dude. That's my article.
I'm getting worked by a jacket and it's bugging me. Oh man, it's just one of those jackets. I hate the Miz for wearing that coat, but I love his gimmick. I just don't want to see the Miz in that coat, and that probably sounded worse than it should have been.
Watch the moneymaker, dude.
Yeah, yeah, I would
I
rather
went
watch
through that period of time where Mizdow wore Miz's old clothes while Miz had new stuff, but now he's adapted to having the new stuff as well.
I just love Mizdow. That guy needs to get a title soon.
Dude,
He doesn't even need a title.
He's about to either, like I said earlier, eat Miz and take his power, or B, turn face and have a feud with him. But the second's way less likely.
What, is he like gonna Damien Sand snake him and then like swallow him whole?
Oh yeah, you swallow him whole, and then, or I guess you can just eat the heart. That's where the power is.
Yeah, this is getting weird.
Yes, swallowing men whole on the gentle lovers of wrestling.
Yes.
Man, and you're telling me your email is at Backdoor Wrestling or whatever it is?
It used to be backdoor reviews, that's right. But that was the point, you see. I was making the double entendre on purpose. See, why go through the front door when you can go through the back? That was the joke.
That's right, Michael.
That's right, Michael. See, it's clever.
Okay, so this brings us on to Pop and Heat. Chris, let's go with you first, man. What's your Pop and Heat for this week?
Pop was either the Miz's reaction after Mizdow won, or Ambrose backstage watching See No Evil 2, claiming it's research. For Heat, that's a tough one. My Heat's going to be the way that they kicked off Raw and the fact that they still haven't announced who's actually going to be closing the damn pay-per-view.
I would say they have, but hey.
Have they?
Yeah, it's clearly going to be Cena Orton.
Now that it's a World Heavyweight title #1 contenders match, I'm pretty sure that's what it is now. Like, I wasn't positive before.
Cena's going to win again.
What is your Pop and Krista?
Yes.
What's your Pop and Heat?
Well, my pop is definitely Mizdow winning and rolling up the U.S. champion. I think that's great. The Miz's reaction was stellar. It's absolutely spot on for his character. My Heat would be 6-man tag matches and the 3-on-2 handicap matches are really getting old. They're really getting old. You know, granted, yep, the Uzos are battling against the Dust Brothers for the titles again. It just seems like they're putting Sheamus and the Usos together with the Dust Brothers and his stunt double for something to do. Like, cut that shit out and just make it a regular tag match.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, that was Sandow's first win on television since the 20th of May.
You're welcome.
Better than Steve Slater.
Jesus, Maggle.
20th of May. That's a long time to not have a win. Although, say that to Kofi Kingston. Yeah.
That's like, in wrestling, that's like dog years.
Oh, yeah. Paul, what's your poppin' heat, man?
Oh, Pop the Night. I have like a two-parter. It's all part of the same segment. Paul Heyman's return and the subsequent RKO onto Heyman. I thought that was fantastic. Everything about that segment
Out of
was
nowhere.
good, except out of nowhere, except for that part. I hated that part. It was just Michael Cole shoehorning that line in. And my heat has to go with same segment of Cena coming out and then having to drop his usual poop and pee jokes.
Terrible.
God
He
awful.
devolved. He devolved back into regular old Cena.
Awful.
And I'm sorry, folks, but I'm gonna have to be like CM Punk. I have to go, so I'm leaving.
Well, let's take your ball and go home then, Paul.
I am. I'm gonna
How
take
can
my
I be
ball,
the
go
tag team
home.
champions as one person?
I'm gonna take my ball, go home, and watch hockey. So.
Yeah, you do that.
All right.
No,
Thanks for having me,
hockey, it's not
folks.
even a good reason.
See you later.
Good seeing you.
Bye.
Bye, Paul.
I'm sad now.
I mean, more from me. No shit to give it.
Skeletor, what's your poppin' heat, man?
I guess my pop was Randy Orton doing things. Like, I mean, he's done it the last few weeks, but just being like an interesting part of the show again for the first time in a while is pretty great.
Ooh, I was pretty sure it was going to be Kane. Whew.
And my heat is was that I guess that friggin' Ambrose dummy segment that I got no enjoyment out of. I thought that was just dead. Like people said, like, well, it would have been okay if the commenters didn't talk over it. The commenters were trying to hide the silence, people. They were trying to hide the fact that no one knew how to react to what was happening in front of them.
You know, Dean is about 50-50 on that. Sometimes what he does, and when it's unique, it just works. And then sometimes it's like, what was that?
Those were some Cena level puns.
Proud too.
It was like you said, Rancis. It was unique, but it was awkward to the point that I struggled to watch that segment until Foley saved it.
Yeah, Ambrose does a weird promo that doesn't make any sense, and like
Yeah.
gets the crowd confused. And then
Yeah,
Seth comes
the
out.
yard sale thing was the same thing.
That was good though.
Freaking Seth comes out and cuts the same promo he's cut 80 million times. So it was just like, that segment was so dead and awful until Mick Foley showed up.
Yeah, it's time for Seth to kick his game into the next gear. He's been stuck at this level for too long.
He's kind of in that, like, he's kind of settled into that, like, when Randy Orton doesn't care mode, where
Yep.
Randy just kind of says obvious things for several minutes.
CM Punk.
I honestly believe that Seth Rollins has he sat there and gone, oh, Reigns is getting over. Ambrose is getting over. What about me? I'm just playing the bad guy. So I'll just do my own thing and say the same thing to aggravate everyone. It's
That's
like
ridiculous.
it's what it comes across as. Like, he just doesn't care. That's what it comes across as. The same thing every week. And you know he is fed lines, right? But there are different ways to deliver it. So like Skeletor just said, he's gone into old Orton mode.
Yeah.
It's dry. You go to the well and there's no water. You go to the throne and there's no life in that body anymore. It's
Yeah.
not.
Orton apparently in the last month, I guess, passed on the board promo curse onto Seth. So now Orton says interesting stuff and freaks out and gets people interested in stuff, and Seth just recites the same 12 lines.
I'm pretty sure that they've started trading promos.
That's ridiculous. No, I really meant it that time. I was kidding with you, Craig. That was really was.
Well, I feel like the Royals thing was really genuine, as freaking Orton is from St. Louis and they hate them. So I feel like him freaking out.
I was told by multiple St. Louisers, if that's what you call them, that's not true. That they actually very much appreciate Kansas City. So I don't know how true that is, but that's what I heard from several of them.
Maybe the old rivalry died down.
I don't think it's really right either, because Kansas City sits on the state line. I know, because I've been.
Well, there's two Kansas Cities. There's Kansas City in Kansas, and there's Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know.
Am I the only one to give my pop and heat still?
Yes.
I haven't. No.
Chris hasn't done it.
Francis, on you go then. I'll let you go first.
Heat's really easy. I still cannot justify firing Justin Roberts. I just don't get it. You've got Alex Riley you could have fired. There's a half dozen other guys you could have fired instead of him. So that's my heat. I just, and I'm not a Lillian fan. I know a lot of people are, but I just she's awful to me.
I'm a fan of things.
And my pop, I'm gonna cheat. Pop number one is Mick Foley. I'm a sucker for returns, especially big star returns. So that popped me pretty good. And my other one is, his name is Tyrus.
Oh, good man.
His name is Tyrus.
Wait, I'm sorry, Rancis. I misheard you. What
his
is his name?
His name is Tyrus.
I'm sorry. What? What's his name?
I have no idea how disturbing it is to know that you've named your John Thomas Tyrus.
His name is Tyrus.
Man, I just cannot understand you. What is his name?
His name is Tyrus.
He's saying his name is Tyrus.
I had to feed into that as long as I could, because I knew he was going to say it like 12 times, and it was going to be awkward if it was just him saying
Y'all gotta check out John's tweet.
I'm dreading. No, do you know what? I'm not even going to look at it. Because I know what it is. Oh, wow. Do you know what? John, I'm looking at the photo just now. I'm going to wait until the end, and we're going to use that photo as the thumbnail for the YouTube video. Tell you what, my pop and heat this week. My pop goes to one singular line. Mick Foley looking up at the cell and saying, "I'm just visiting an old friend." The nostalgia I got with that one line was horrible. I felt like a small child again. I just loved it. I thought, for me, line of the night, by far. My heat, however, goes to the 7-foot crybaby that is the babyface Big Show. You do not have a grown man who's meant to be an opposing force, frustrated or not, crying. It really bugs me. Like, I've never seen a babyface, to my knowledge anyway, cry out of frustration on WWE.
I'm pretty sure Alex Riley did it backstage a few times, but you know.
Yeah, that on TV, my friend, on TV.
Oh God.
Hey, Rye.
I'd like to touch quickly on what someone said about Lillian Garcia. Yeah, give me Eden or JoJo any day.
Say that again, sorry?
What someone said about Lillian replacing Justin Roberts. Yeah, give me Eden or JoJo any day.
That's because you like him young, Chris. That's because you like him young.
Wow. You're really taking that glow thing seriously, bro.
JoJo's my age, man. Like, Jesus.
Like I said, you like him young, Chris. You like him young.
He's taking that glow thing really seriously.
Hey man, I've got a whole episode of this. I'll keep this product coming like this. Wow, I could use the better there. Never mind.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Right, let's move on to mailbag again. We've got a couple of extra questions. PWE Podcast asks, what are your thoughts on Dixie Carter still running TNA? Ren says, let's go with you, because I know you like your TNA at times.
Oh, I love TNA.
I love TNA.
Seriously though, I don't think Dixie's running it. To be honest with you, I've gotten to the point where I think there are like 4 people who argue in a room, and then whoever shouts the loudest, that's who gets the last say. It's such an incredible mess, which is sad because they actually do have some very interesting product available to them. They could be a much better product than they are, and that's with them doing much better over the last few months. But they're still an incredible mess. They could be doing a lot more with Rockstar Spud, who is an absolute star. They're doing a good job with EC3, but they could be doing even better with him because he has the it factor. Unlike Bobby Roode, which there's a lot of people who love Bobby Roode, but I don't see the whole it factor thing.
And don't forget, his name is Tyrus.
Dude, that was gold. Absolute gold.
The best bit about that was Tyrus going, truth, fact, you know it. Like, that's all he needs to say week in and week out, and I'll be happy.
They need to give him the mic because he's really good. He's
awesome on the mic.
So, I don't know. Yeah, but, Dixie running it, Dixie not running it, I don't think it really matters one way or the other until they really figure out the whole ownership situation. I don't know if they're really trying to sell the company or what the deal is, but there's some strange stuff going on behind the scenes in that company, and they just need to get it fixed because they have some good stuff that they could be selling.
Krista, what's your thoughts on Dixie Carter and TNA?
Well, it's hard to say if she's still running the show or not. She very well could be. I'm of a mind that she probably answers to a board of directors of some kind, if it's because I know her family's kind of holding the fort there. So I think she, like everyone else in the world, is beholden to a group of directors, and I do believe she probably gets overruled on some occasions. For the most part, in the last few months, they've really tightened up their game. Ever since they put the 6 sides back out there, it just seems a little bit more, I guess, a little bit grittier, a little bit fresher. Just some of the things that are going down in TNA as opposed to the same old in WWE. So I would say, yeah, I think she's still running the show for myself.
I thought MVP was running it.
Oh,
No,
I thought it was
No?
I thought it was Kurt Angle, but hey.
Oh, yeah. Kurt Angle.
When really we all know it's Jeremy Borash.
And it's soon to be Justin Roberts.
Yeah.
It's not Vince Russo, and we just haven't heard the full story.
No, if it was Russo, there'd be more running, and matches would be over in seconds. And
I've got it, dude. Finger poke of death. Boom.
That's already exists. It's called the steel-fingered poke. Everybody should know this.
Here on Glow, we know all about the stiff-fingered poke.
You know what?
That was a term coined by my mother.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Whoa.
When you go up to somebody and you poke them really hard with your finger, it feels like a steel finger.
Oh god.
Skeletor, what's your thoughts on Dixie?
Well, I don't know if I can follow that.
Dumpster fire.
Yeah, I'm basically refused. That's pretty good. I kind of refuse to watch TNA until they change it to rename it SBW for Shark Boy Wrestling, and Shark Boy is the world champion and wrestles in all the segments.
Shell! Yeah!
Because I really love Shark Boy, and I don't know why. But
What's wrong with you, man?
every time I see Shark Boy, I'm just like happy that he exists still. I don't I saw someone talk about him. I didn't even know he still worked there. But I saw someone mention him, and I was like, oh, Shark Boy is still a thing that exists. I am so happy.
I've been trying to tell you he's been on the last couple of shows.
Shark Boy is the best, and like AJ Styles and those guys are like actually great. But Shark Boy's just really entertaining to me. like just being like the biggest jobber I've seen in like decades, and having the most ridiculous. He's from the deep blue sea, Craig. The deep blue sea.
The deep blue sea.
he's basically like my favorite human being. Okay, shark.
He's a shark.
He's a shark man. But yeah. He needs to be the world champ.
Okay. Who wins in a fight between Shark Boy and Merman?
Merman.
Oh. No, Shark Boy would tear him apart.
Donuts.
I mean, Shark Boy freaking took the Shark Boy and Lava Girl movie to court and won. He can do anything.
He eats too many donuts.
Shark. Oh my God, that coma thing. Like I remember, like he was just a shark jobber dude, and then in 2007 or 8, they had him go get in a coma after being severely beaten by like a top heel, and then he broke out of his cast with sea juice or something, and adopted the Stone Cold Steve Austin thing out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere!
I still remember. I remember that segment like better than I remember any other wrestling segment, and I don't know why.
Man, I think you really you need to get some help.
I do need help. Shark Boy for life, though.
Chris,
I love the Shark Boy gimmick too. I gotta tell you, man. Just a little bit of remnants of Austin. I'll take the scraps, dude. I'll take the scraps.
Chris, what are your thoughts on TNA and Dixie Carter?
Me?
Yup, you.
I don't really watch TNA that much, but Dixie Carter needs to realise that she's terrible.
Do you know what? I think as an on-screen persona, I really don't like her. I think she's really bad when she's on television.
Listen up, people.
Yeah, it's not even like annoying like on Vicky Guerrero standards. It's just annoying. Like I can't look at her when she's on television.
Vicky Guerrero is a legitimate nice person backstage.
Yes, she is.
You know what? Dixie Carter might be too. We just don't know.
I've heard she's a bit of a bitch blower.
Actually, the people I've heard meet her say she's fairly nice.
Yeah, I've heard that she's very similar to. She's a Southern Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
Oh God.
For Stephanie's like a bitch on TV, but she's, I guess, super, super nice in real life.
Is Jeff Jarrett Southern Triple H? Is that the dynamic we have here?
Absolutely not. The closest thing they got to Triple H is apparently Bobby Roode. That's the comparison that everybody seems to make.
I stopped liking Bobby Roode after Beer Money broke up.
Beer Money was awesome.
Beer Money was like the top 10 tag teams from like that decade.
Dude, loved Beer Money, man. Loved it.
Did you?
Who doesn't love beer and money? And who doesn't love beer money? It just goes well together.
Yeah.
Now I have that country song stuck in my head. Thank you so much.
Sorry about your whole damn look.
Oh, it's such a good song. The lyrics have a lot to be desired, but hey,
That's one of the only like halfway decent TNA themes.
Yeah.
TNA themes are generally abysmal.
Yeah, my last favorite TNA theme besides that would probably be either any of Jeff Hardy's ones because he writes them, or the Aces and Eights theme song. I really like the Aces and Eights thing.
That was pretty good. The Sons of Anarchy type of a theme.
Yeah, it was really catchy.
Shame the gimmick failed.
The gimmick
They failed the gimmick. The gimmick didn't fail, in my opinion.
The gimmick was great. It had a lot of life in it as well. Just they didn't give it enough time and the right amount of attention.
And they threw like 5,000 new people in every bloody week. Hey guys, I joined Aces and Eights. It's like, well, at this point, who's left on the roster that hasn't?
I kind of liked Christian. I like Christian's theme. That was kind of a Y2J like weird knockoff thing. I don't really know what that was about. That was fun to listen to, I guess.
It's a Y2J knockoff.
It put up numbers and then made a countdown noise, and then at the end it became like a
I agree with obnoxious CJ Webb there. The Stone Cold Shark Boy, greatest gimmick of all time. But yeah, I mean, it was criminal negligence what they did with the Aces and Eights. It's like step right up, master's class on how to destroy a perfectly good gimmick.
I thought that would have been the Nexus, but oh well.
Right. Let's move on from bad to better to worse. This is the unpopular opinion, my friends. If you're listening now, you want to hear everything that you have to argue with, because right now, your opinion matters just as much as ours. Chris, let's hit it up with your unpopular opinion for this. I'm going to leave the grump till last, so rest get it building. Chris, what's your unpopular opinion?
I don't really have one this week, to be honest. My only unpopular opinion is that I'm looking forward to Reigns coming back.
Let's be real here. All of your opinions are unpopular.
Let's be real here. Shut up.
2 words for you, Rensis. 2 words for you, Rensis, and they ain't Merry Christmas.
I sense a disturbance in the force.
That's my job. My job is to bully him. That's my whole reason for being on this show.
You know what's amazing is you guys are like two sides of the same coin. Just one of you has to say heads and the other one has to say tail. You guys just can't get on at all. That's how we pick it up now. And you can debate for hours and we'll laugh at the rest of you.
Yep.
And Hal will have Skeletor come in and rip the door off with his 108-pound arms.
I will. I do have a 108-pound arm. Each arm is 108 pounds.
Of course, yeah. Krista, do you mind being a special ref?
Yeah, like, and I'll probably at one point punch one of them and he'll die. So.
Krista, do you mind being special ref for this match?
Sure.
Yeah, cool. I'm just going to be chilling from the roof of the cell, hanging like Big Boss Man. It's all good.
You have to wear one of those girl referee outfits, though. That's the rule.
Yeah,
She has to
no.
wear the Triple H at SummerSlam referee outfit.
Nah. It defeats the purpose to have a looker if we're not going to use it the right way.
There's like the weird half boots and stuff that Triple H was rocking in that match.
Guys, let's be honest.
I'm going to be honest with you, that's neither one is happening.
You know why neither one's happening? Because we're going to go with the Val Venus WrestleMania 2000 referee towel.
Wow.
Nope, because I'm well endowed. I will require scaffolding, so there's no there's no nothing.
Scaffold match. Oh yeah.
Oh God, no! Not even in those circumstances.
Right, Skeletor, what's your unpopular opinion?
I don't know. Shark Boy for WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Wow.
I don't freaking know. I want Christian to come back. I don't know if that's unpopular. I don't freaking know how people feel about him anymore. I just want him to have like a nice 3-month retirement run, and then he can stop wrestling and stop dying in the ring.
Wow.
So I just 3 months to where I don't want his last thing that ever happened to him to be getting kicked in the head by Alberto Del Rio. So yeah, I guess that I don't. Oh no, I want Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series. I guess I want that really bad. That
That's
sounds
pretty
awesome.
popular.
That sounds popular, man. You're really bad
Oh,
at
is
this.
it? Because it's heel versus heel. I don't know how into that people are at this
I
point.
think Orton will probably be a face by then.
Yeah,
I don't
especially with Seth Rollins attacking him already.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't have that many unpopular No, okay, yeah, Shark Boy for world champion. That's it. That's it. Replace Dean Ambrose without saying anything. Call him Dean Ambrose. Let him wear Dean Ambrose merchandise over his shark costume.
Krista, what's your unpopular opinion?
My unpopular opinion would be having Kurt Angle return to WWE. No, thank you. I know a lot of people want it. To have him take on Rusev. No thanks. Not interested.
Rensis, let's hit you up. What's your unpopular opinion?
Hers was pretty unpopular, I think. I agree with it, but I think that's going to be pretty unpopular. That's pretty good. Mine is also going to be deeply unpopular, I know, because I had a Twitter discussion about it, more than one Twitter discussion about it. What?
Don't dare steal mine. This is going to be interesting to see what you say now.
The idea that Daniel Bryan was less over than the chant, that people just wanted to chant something, defies all logic. I mean, that just, I'm floored by it. I don't want to be disrespectful to people that buy that theory.
Just be disrespectful. It's easier.
But, dude, if I go walking down the street and I say the coolest thing ever to be said, nobody's going to follow me. The idea that Daniel Bryan was any less over than the other iconic chants that people chant even when they're not there, the woo chant for Flair, the what chants that Austin got over, to dismiss Daniel Bryan, I'd be so much more respectful of someone that says, I just don't like Daniel Bryan. I have no problem with that. But to disparage him, to say he wasn't really over, it was just the chant, defies all logic to me.
Yeah, I think that the key example for that as well is the cage match they had with Wyatt. If it was the yes chant that was over, why did they cheer for him so loudly when he took the Wyatt outfit off?
Also, why the hell did they cheer so loudly for him at the Royal Rumble?
Oh yeah, when he wasn't even in it. That's amazing.
Yeah, they were actually chanting Daniel Bryan. They weren't even chanting yes.
Yeah, they chanted his name. And they actually did that in 2012, 2013. The one where he lost in 8 seconds. Whenever that happened.
Oh yeah. And then of course the night after WrestleMania with the "You Deserve It" chants. That is some of the loudest "You Deserve It" chants I've ever heard.
That is the loudest "You Deserve It" chant I've ever heard.
My thing with Daniel Bryan, I kind of wish they would had let the story with him being part of the Wyatts run out a little bit longer than they did.
The only reason they didn't was because they realised they needed to push him for Mania.
Yeah. So the timing was. I could have seen, injury notwithstanding, and of course, hindsight's 20/20. To push him through Mania, have him lose the title, and have him become so disenfranchised that he rejoins the Wyatts, that would have been good.
The one that they had, that they were initially going to do, was have him leave the Wyatts at Mania, which obviously they then couldn't do because the crowd went batshit crazy and started chanting for him like there was no tomorrow. So WWE kind of went, well, crap.
Yeah, there's no turning Daniel Bryan heel at that point. It wasn't working. Nope. Who wants to boo Daniel Bryan? There are people that don't like him in a sense that they're bored of him because they're looking for a more larger than life persona. But nobody can. How do you hate Daniel Bryan? You can't.
It was exciting to watch in the ring. Absolutely.
I'd just like to point out my mic was muted at the time, but I did say that, Krista, your unpopular opinion of the week was the scaffolding match. Not happening.
Krista not doing a scaffold match is truly the unpopular view of the week.
I think we need to get like some kind of vote going on Twitter. We'll get one of those twititions put out. Yeah, make it happen.
No.
That's right, there's always Mania 32, guys.
Yeah, we
Vincent are not sharing a hotel room.
Oh God.
It's alright, one of you guys can come join the Glow camp.
Yeah, you can
No, I'm going to be refereeing that.
Tell you what, my unpopular opinion of the week.
Yes.
Dean Ambrose is not great as everyone's making out he is.
I have to admit, this week I kind of saw that. This week, what I saw from Ambrose wasn't as good as what I normally see.
Yeah, I called that a couple weeks ago when he did the yard sale thing. It was awkward. I know that there were some people that kind of bought it, but it felt awkward and dragging in spots, and I could see that wasn't quite hitting its mark. So
I don't even think he seemed into that.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose currently seems to have been put on a higher pedestal by the internet than he deserves to be placed on at this current time.
I don't feel it was that. I feel like he had a bad week this week.
No, I mean...
The dummy thing was just weird.
Yeah, that was just bad. I like the yard sale stuff. I like the stuff that he did backstage with See No Evil too, like I said earlier. But the dummy thing was just ridiculous.
It was creepy.
well, that's what it was supposed to be, though.
It wasn't creepy. It was just
In a
boring.
creepy as in a, pedophile way.
Yeah, he was unstable. That's part of the gimmick. I get that.
Yeah. That's. I think they were going for that, but it just didn't work, though. It was.
It was good in theory, but not in practice.
I feel like the throwing the clothes on one, it did drag, but the crowd got behind it because it was weird and interesting. So he tried to do a super weird and never been done quite like it segment, and it just died this week.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not the first time he's done that. I mean, if you go back and look at the stuff that he did in the Indies, that was very John Moxley.
I mean, do you know what I'm waiting for? Is Dean Ambrose heel. That is the moment that he'll be able to shine and truly show what he can do. I think he works better as a heel after watching a lot of his old content.
I feel like he's Punk 2.0 in the sense that he is a good face, but he will make a far, 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 far better heel.
Yeah.
And the problem with it is the TV audience will perceive him as a heel, but you can't turn him heel in the stadiums. You can't. And it was the same thing with Punk. You can't keep him heel. No matter how much heel stuff he does,
he got cheered all the time.
The marks that buy tickets are going to cheer for him.
The only time I recall him really getting booed was when he did the stuff with the urn.
Yeah.
But that was the only time.
It was pallbearer, and pallbearer was much beloved.
Yeah, that was literally a one-off kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree it's a shame because, like we've said, Ambrose will work a lot better as a heel.
Yeah, I called that with Randy Orton some months back too, and you can see it. They've been trying everything that they can try to keep him heel. They can't do it.
This week they nailed it because that was the best heel stuff I've seen from Orton in a long time.
Okay. We've got 3 more questions for our mailbag. We're going to bash through these as quick as we can. So from David Gill, we've got blood in wrestling, good or bad?
skip my question again.
No, we've still got them. Don't worry. That is one of the three. It's okay. We'll get there.
Good,
So,
good.
blood and wrestling, good or bad?
I think it has a place. The idea behind Blood was that in telling a story of a match of two guys struggling against each other, at some point in a real fight, you're probably going to get blood if the two guys really hate each other. And so that was sort of the put it over the top element. Along the way, it became so overused that people were desensitized to it. And WWE comes along with the idea of, we're going to try to sell this to kids. And so along the way, those two elements conspired to say, well, there's not going to be any blood anywhere. And WWE's taken it so far as to even stop matches where you get legitimate blood. Okay,
Stop doing that, though.
What I don't understand is that part of it. Okay, if you get a guy who is legitimately busted open, I don't understand why you'd want to stop that. Getting rid of blading, which I think is the crux of the question, is a good thing. That was never good for anybody. Even if you got the sort of storytelling element of the Crimson Mask, it wasn't worth the danger of blading.
Look at Abdullah the Butcher.
Terrible, terrible.
Yeah.
But I don't get the current rule where they actually stop matches or they pull guys if there's a tag element where if they can get somebody out of there, they can get them out of there and stop the bleeding and then restart the match. I'm not sure I get that part of it.
The only time I ever thought that was good was when they had Lesnar's return match with Cena.
Oh, where you splitting badly, yeah.
Yeah, because to me that also broke it up a little bit, which helped.
I can see why they stopped the matches.
I can't see why they stopped Sin Cara's match after he dislocated his finger, but okay.
With the blood, because of so many things that are in our society now when it comes to communicable diseases and everything else, blood is a barrier. So they're doing it to keep all the wrestlers safe. It's a hygiene thing because they have to also keep their staff safe, like the rest of the crew. And I think it's also to protect the audience. Because you see it on Raw all the time where they hit the barricades and there's people patting them on the shoulders and touching them and everything else. They may or may not touch them because there's blood. They may not care. So I think it's also it also could, in the long run, be a liability thing.
Yeah, but keeping the action in the ring is a whole other subject that bugs me. I won't get into it here, but that the whole wallowing on the floor thing really bugs me. I'd rather them stay in the ring.
I agree with you. I don't see any point in it. I don't see any point with having them crash into the audience. That's just ridiculous because it puts people at peril. When I went to the Raw show last year, they had people escorted out in handcuffs. Like, way to keep it classy, folks. Because there was a scuffle in the audience, and like a couple of little kids got caught in the middle of it. I'm like, it was completely unnecessary, and it was started because a wrestler went into the crowd.
Skeletor, blood and wrestling, yay or nay?
Okay. It is kind of a liability, and it was like Vince said, was super overdone. Like, and not even like, it was super overdone in NWA like 30 years ago. And you watch the first Starrcade, every match has everyone bleed in it. And it like within seconds. It's like ridiculous. But yeah, like I don't need it. Though if every now and then someone's busted open, whatever, or if they add it to like a very particular main event, like Hell in a Cell or something, I'm fairly cool with it. But it was overdone for a long time. I don't really need it, and it is a very weird liability, like that Abdullah the Butcher thing. So I guess I'm more against it than I'm for it, though I'm cool with it in small doses.
Cool. In short, I'm good with natural. I am bad with blading. Fact. Okay.
Yeah.
Next question.
Okay. I was going to say pretty much the same here. I think that excessive bleeding, for example, what happened with, was it Guerrero that popped the vein in his head?
Yeah, Guerrero did it.
Yeah.
Cena's done it once, and so did Vince, definitely.
Yeah, that sort of stuff I can understand stopping a match and sorting that the hell out.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question we got is, should TNA fold? Who could / should WWE sign to the roster? Krista, you first.
Well, I would like to see, like, if they do sign from that roster of TNA folks, I wouldn't mind seeing EC3 carry over his gimmick to there. I think he'd do very well, because he's done very well with that gimmick. I could see them picking up Austin Aries just for the high flyer. They could probably pass on Bobby Roode. I don't understand the it factor either. James Storm, I could see them picking up as well. Eric Young, maybe, because he is a bit of a workhorse. And they could skip the Knockouts division entirely. And maybe the Wolves. I could see them picking up the Wolves. I think the Wolves would make an interesting addition to the tag scene. As for the rest of them, like, they could skip on the Menagerie. I don't have any idea what that's about. And if they had a cruiserweight still, they could have made very good use of Rockstar Spud.
Good shouts. Chris, what about you, man?
Honestly, I don't feel like they need to take anyone over. I don't feel like they need to take anyone over from TNA to WWE. I mean, I'd like to see Jeff Hardy go back. Because Hardy, you know, it'd be nice to see them back for one last run. In terms of the guys that, I don't know, EC3, I could see them possibly saying, you know, okay, we screwed up and we shouldn't have let this guy go, let's get him back. But other than that, I can't really see them going, oh yeah, we need to get this guy, we need to get that guy. Like, I'd like to see them get someone like Gail Kim, but other than that, no.
They had Gail Kim.
I'd like to see them get her back, because she's improved.
Yes, she has.
Fair enough. Skeletor, what about you, man? Who would you take from TNA and shove in WWE?
Shark Boy. Shark Boy, personally.
Wait.
After that, I like Magnus, from what I've seen him, just a little bit. He's super young, and he's big, and he works, so, like, he fits the mold. So yeah, you could put him in without too much issue.
I totally forgot about Magnus.
They would know what to do with him.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't, but yeah, EC3 probably works as... I don't know how you would do that, because, like, his gimmick, at least when I was seeing it, relies on his, like, family dynasty and stuff.
Yep, so-
like, his
so he
made-up family dynasty.
So he goes in as a Carter, you take the E and turn it to an A, and he goes in as Carter. And then, if needs be, you have him beat down McMahon.
Well, name him like Jack Helmsley. It's just... do something stupid like that.
Or have it, like, do a, kind of where he's the mole.
No, dude, he
You'd have to bring in Dixie with him.
He can be Vince McMahon III, because there are already two Vince McMahons. But
Nah, just bring Dixie with him.
I'll bring Dixie with him.
Yeah, no, if it was for TV purposes, bring her in. Why not?
Yeah.
But okay, those. Yeah, I think that's because I'm not that familiar with everything. Like, Bobby Roode's getting old, and he's pretty good, but he's getting old.
Bobby Roode's actually young.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, is he young? He looks old now.
Wow.
I watched like one episode, and he looked and he moved like he was old.
I cannot believe my good fortune. You guys left me the biggest draw available on the roster.
His
That's
name
the
is Tyrant.
Oh, no, that's good. I wish I had come up with his name as Tyrus for that. That would have been a perfect one. That would have been Shark Boy level. No, Bully Ray.
Oh, no, they're going back, guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, Bully Ray would be at this point. Not only would you get the nostalgia pop, but he's in the best shape of his life. He has grown by leaps and bounds. He'd be huge in WWE.
I think you put him in the tag division right now as well. Him and Devon cover it up well.
I take back what I said about Bobby Roode. He's not young.
Well, I mean, he's not 40, you know.
Close. He's 37.
So
So he's younger
older
than Cena.
Randy Orton and about the same as John Cena.
I think Cena's 38, right?
John Cena's 37.
Okay, yeah. So he's not an old guy, you know.
By the terms of just brought this dude in, and he's kind of old. Like
Same age as Kevin Steen, right?
Yep.
Is Kevin Steen that old? Oh. Like I don't follow the indies like much, so I did not know. I've seen him work.
Well, and Virgil Devitt's not young either.
I can't comment about Steen. I mean, I look like him, and if you guys are saying he looks old, then I feel bad.
I don't think he looks old. I thought he was fairly young. Like I don't know.
I think he's only about 32 or so.
But I hope that TNA survives because you need. I just hope they get it fixed. I don't want to see them go out of business. I want to see a good competitive product opposite WWE to keep them honest. And more so than that, I'd like to see them get it fixed so you have an actual competition, so both levels get raised. No pun intended for levels. But you know, if I had to take people off the roster, I think you could take most of the guys off the TNA roster. And in one form or another, they all work in WWE. Just about, not all of them, but just about all of them. It's world class stuff. That's a big league product, and most of the guys on that roster would work just fine in WWE at varying levels on the card.
I'm gonna say Rockstar Spud. You make him the GM of either SmackDown or Raw, and you have him get bullied by everyone so that he can get matches, until eventually he snaps and gives himself muscle as a bodyguard. Hence why you could bring back Tyrus, and you could bring back whoever you want to be his muscle.
They tried that with Maddox. I think Spud is a little bit more talented than Maddox, but I think Maddox has that Weasley type personality. They could have run with it if they wanted somebody like that. Don't get me wrong. I think Spud's better at it than he is, but I don't think they know. I don't think they know what to do with Spud.
I would love to see Spuds on a bigger scale, or at least used more often.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how great would it be to have Spud come back as the guy to beat EC3? I would love to see that happen. I mean, he comes back, put them in a feud. They both get built up. You know, EC3's built so many guys, and then Spud beats him. Both of them get projected to a good level.
No pun intended.
Oh no, full pun intended. It's all about the level.
Can I just watch Rockstar Spud wrestle Hornswoggle and?
That's what you'd get, and that would be a total waste.
No, but there's out his ridiculous shirts and wrestle Bullman.
I think there's some guys that are in TNA that it's better that they're there. I think EC3 is probably one of them. I don't know that they'd know what to do with him. Spud, they wouldn't know what to do with him. Aries, they'd waste him.
I feel like Magnus could be plugged in, which is why he was the first guy I said, because he's just a big, white dude that can work.
I think they'd waste him too. I think they'd do with like a Chris Masters, or what was the guy from the Welsh?
Nathan Ryan.
I
those
don't
guys
think
can work for shit.
I think they'd waste him. To be honest with you, I don't think Mannings is anything special as a worker. I think they'd waste him. I really do.
I've only seen like one or two matches, so I can't be like an authority on that.
Well, and this is the sad thing is that WWE, in history, has shown they don't know how to book the British wrestlers.
Or anybody mid-card, to be honest with you. And I think most of the...
Or anybody like the UK or the European wrestlers, they just don't know what to do with them.
I don't know. Like, Barrett's getting some cool stuff until he got hurt.
Like Bram. I'm not sure they'd know what to do with him.
They'd waste him.
No, Bram needs to take his current gimmick and take it over to like CZW. He would get over great
Oh,
look at how well Robbie E has done, and he's basically Zack Ryder, and they've completely wasted Zack Ryder. So
yeah, he used to be one of the major brothers, and now look at him.
I'm rooting for TNA to make it because a lot of these guys are so much better off where they are.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
Let's-
see how GFW turns out.
Mm-hmm. GFW's going to be big, I think. But hey, let's move on.
What?
I think it's going to be big.
What is?
GFW? I think so too.
What's that?
Global Force. You know, Jeff Jarrett's new love child.
Don't take the mic, Francis.
Vaporware.
Don't take the mic.
No, I don't think I don't think, I don't think GFW is the Duke Nukem Forever of wrestling promotion.
Soon. We shall tell. Anyway, I think we have...
signed like 80 companies. Like, it's a lot of stuff that he's put in progress here.
Yep, but it means
Anyway.
we have 2 questions left, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Crystal. We have, will we see a Batista return? Or, due to the success of Guardians of the Galaxy, will that keep him too busy? Very quickly, yes or no, guys? Rensis, Batista return?
Francis, turn on your mic.
He gone. Krista, Batista, yes or no? Does he return?
You know, it's hard to say. It's hard to say what his contract is. I think that the contract he had was probably based around the fact that he was committed to a Marvel movie. And if he signed a contract with Marvel, he's probably signed on for more than one, because they always sign them for more than one. And I don't see him coming back anytime soon. Not really.
Skeletor, Batista return, yay or nay?
Yay, I guess. I think it will happen. Like, I don't know. I don't think he'll ever be like a big, like, always there dude anymore, because he's probably signed for like 6 movies.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's probably gonna, I don't know, he might do a Rock level deal where he just kind of shows up and does little feuds with programs with people and stuff. I don't think we'll ever. Yeah, I don't think he's ever like really full time or even like half the time coming back.
Chris, Batista return, yay or nay? Chris, you there? Okay,
Sorry,
Rensis.
I forgot I muted. I think he should, but I don't think. I think he will, but I don't think he should.
Right, okay. Rensis, Batista return, yes or no? Will it happen?
I'm almost certain that it's going to happen. I'm not 100% sure whether or not he should, because I don't know how they're going to use him. The last time they really botched how they used him. But I'm like pretty sure he's going to be back.
Yeah, I think he's going to come back at least towards the WrestleMania season. If not, bring him back for Survivor Series. Okay, so I think this is our final question for tonight. LDG Podcast, who joined us on Showdown not that long ago, asks, will the Wyatt family come back, and where do they sit in the mix?
Repeat that?
The Wyatt family come back, and how do they fit in the part?
I missed the last part again.
Where do they fit into the mix when the Wyatt family come back?
Okay.
How do they come back and how do they fit in the mix? I'm going to go ahead and say they retire Cena.
Shut up.
Dude, Chris,
Yes,
leave.
seriously,
Leave.
seriously though, I think Bray Wyatt will come back as some kind of, because they keep talking about him having a spirit with him. I think he'll come back as this entity, not necessarily like the Undertaker and like Kane, but like being something above man.
Like a demigod?
What's that?
Like a demigod?
Kind of like they're playing it up that he has been chosen, he's the prophet or whatever the hell they want to go with.
More like bump in the night.
What's that?
More like something that goes bump in the night.
But I think that's where they'll go with it, and hopefully it can do well, because I would very much love to see what happened to it, because I feel like Wyatt was kind of going face, but kind of not, because the way that the crowd cheered him. I think they need to do something to get bigger heel reactions, and I'm hoping that they can sort that.
Francis, what do you think? Where are they coming back?
From the vignettes, if we can read anything from the very cryptic, very, very creepy, very, very well done vignettes, it's that they're going to get more of a push for Harper and Rowan, not as a tag team, but as individuals, and he is more of a, I don't want to say a manager, because he's not going to, I don't think, go quite that far, but he is maybe taking a back seat as an in-ring performer and doing more with them as the voice for them, mouthpiece for them. I don't think that Harper needs it, but Rowan desperately does. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I wonder if this means that Bray has some kind of an injury, because he's very good in the ring, but we've seen him have to take a step back from in-ring work a couple of times. Is he injury prone or something? I don't know what the deal is with him.
I honestly,
like late period Ted DiBiase, where he wrestles a 6-man and then doesn't wrestle for 2 months, and then wrestles a 6-man.
He's still wrestling the live events, but the thing they've got is, I think they've just taken him off TV so they can do up the characters, because I feel like Bray Wyatt was doing the same thing. But by going back doing these vignettes, it's made Bray Wyatt feel fresh. I mean, the stuff that they did with the rocking chair, where he sat in a rocking chair, but then all of a sudden it completely disappears, and it's like the light from behind, the light in the doors and everything, and then all of a sudden he's gone from the chair. That to me is very, very, very. It's more interesting than what he was doing in the ring and what he was doing on the mic. I find that more interesting than anything right now.
Mm-hmm.
Krista, what do you think? Where are they coming back? What's going on?
Well, I would like to see Harper and Rowan kind of come into their own. I see Wyatt coming back sort of in the same character, but up a notch, as he's gone from this leader of, these two guys to being, like a prophet, like a so-called savior, pardon the usage of that. I could also see them splitting Harper and Rowan up, and all three of them doing singles runs. But I think that's them coming. I think Wyatt will come back, probably less in ring and more on the side.
Fair enough. Skeletor, what'd you bet?
This is some like utter rumor mill crap that I've heard. So 90% chance garbage. But well, I just want to be upfront about that. But the general word on the street crap I've seen is that Luke Harper and Eric Rowan will become singles superstars, but still have a connection to Bray. Still be part of his faction, I guess. And then they will attempt, and I'm not sure how much I believe this, but I've said, attempt to bring in the Ascension as new members of the family, which is why there's all that weird birthing imagery in those things.
Please no.
Create the creation of new members, because that's why there's all that pregnancy stuff. Is what I've heard.
Please no.
It makes me sad.
However, I have
We can hardly hear you, Levels.
Sorry, I have a larger worry as to what may be going on. I panic that, like Francis said, Bray Wyatt may be taking a back step and becoming more of a managerial role. In that, I worry that we get Kane and Undertaker light with a new pallbearer.
See, I was going to say, I thought that at one point, but when we saw the first couple of vignettes and it was Luke Harper focused, and it was Eric Rowan focus. I thought very much the same thing, but until they saw the one with Bray Wyatt, where like I've said, where the one about he's been chosen and the spirit will guide you, boy, and all that stuff. That to me indicates that he's releasing them back to hunt, but he's going for something bigger. He's going to just. That to me is what it means. I don't hope. I pray to God that the Ascension stuff is wrong, because that would just be terrible.
I worry that the he's been chosen stuff is reference to a higher power. If it's a higher power, I'll cry. The idea that Rowan was this child who was lost, just screams Kane's backstory at me. The idea that can go off and do his own thing, that he is free, is suggesting the time that Undertaker and Bearer had time apart. It's very mirror imaging, and I hope it's not leading.
If that's what happens, I have absolutely no problem with that part of it. If you want to recycle something that worked that well, I don't have a problem with that. What I'm hoping that we don't get is less Bray Wyatt, because Paul Bearer was an old guy who never could work. Bray Wyatt is a very entertaining performer in the ring, besides his ability to talk. So,
like I said, I imagine him as like Heenan family, like I mean not Heenan family, DB, not freaking Heenan family.
I know what you mean, the $1 million troop, basically. Like where he had Virgil and he had Andre.
Yeah, DiBiase had like a faction of 4 or 5 guys. He himself wrestled a decent amount. He didn't do it that often. He didn't wrestle as much as any of the members of his group.
You talking about
but he still worked.
You talking about the DiBiase posse?
Yeah, the DiBiase Corporation, like whatever you want to call it.
$15 man. DiBiase about Junior.
I'd just like to jump in for a second. Say that what we're saying about with the Undertaker, Kane, and Paul Bearer comparisons, I'm okay with that. If I'm completely honest, I would like to see the Wyatt's go their separate ways, and maybe in a few years' time, you get the references to it, you get them going together or whatever, you get them Bray Wyatt talking about how much they've changed. I wouldn't mind that at all in any way, shape, or form. But I'm hoping, and the stuff with Bray Wyatt being affected by this higher power, whatever that may be, I think that's not something that they'll take literally. I think that's something that they'll take as he's messed up in the head.
Yeah, the same as we're all talking about the It's Coming.
That's just the Wyatts coming back.
Yeah, you see, they're talking about It's Coming like it's going to be a person or a team, hence with the rumors. I suggest that It's Coming is going to be an event. For instance, Rensis and I have spoke about it before, the idea that the Wyatts come back and cause utter chaos.
Yeah.
Hey, I got one a possibility for you. How about that's the debut for Kevin Steen?
I would love it, but I doubt it.
Steen comes in as a member of the Wyatt family.
I would be over the moon.
That's a pretty rad way to bring Steen in. Steen is like a burly, bearded, like weird guy.
Steen needs to go through NXT, if I'm completely honest.
Well, you can do that. Like I don't know. Like I don't know what he's doing. Like maybe he can just be trained and be fine.
He can be muscle for them, at ringside along with Bray Wyatt, and he can be working NXT matches. To get himself into that style.
I agree.
Yeah, and if Bray's not doing as much of in-ring as he used to, there's nothing saying he can't be on NXT in the same role with Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we call him, Kev Wyatt?
No, we gotta give him something else. He doesn't necessarily have to be a Wyatt, because, Harper and Rowan aren't.
Yeah, their last names aren't Wyatt.
I question if they brought him in like that, they would call him Wyatt. Especially with the imagery of the baby. It's Wyatt.
No, I hope not.
He's Sister Abigail's son.
Yes, we'll name him Abigail Jr.
You jerk.
I I do question as well the idea that Rowan is portrayed as this innocent boy that has been grown up with Wyatt. I would love if Rowan does a couple of matches and then gets beaten down by someone, and then Wyatt takes a stand and says, "You beat an innocent child. You tear apart his innocence."
Oh, God.
Like it's so much bigger than it actually is.
Abigail Jr., that's the worst thing I've ever heard in my whole
You
life.
can call him Abby June if you want.
Oh, God.
No, because then that's just too close to Abby Singer.
But let him speak his native French and only that, and name him Abby June.
That's disgusting.
No,
Yeah.
because too much like the Legionnaires or whatever the hell they are.
They're broken up now. It's fine. Yeah, he can
It's
go.
fine. It's fine.
He can get up with Sylvester Lefort now that they're broken up. That he can be a tag team.
We've gone from fantasy booking. Let's do some serious booking. Talk about our Hell in a Cell predictions.
Hell in a Cell.
Predictions.
There will be a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view on Sunday.
86% correct.
Total Divas on E.
That was a bold prediction, Rensis.
It was.
Cena's going to win because the company doesn't have any brains. We're going to see Ambrose win or Kane or Rollins win via interference. We're going to see Nikki Bella win. We're going to see possibly Miz. Who's in a match against Sheamus? Is it Miz or Mizdow?
It's Miz, but I think it's going to end up Miz down.
I was going to say Miz wins because Mizdow gets the pin. We then have.
I think Orton Cena is going to be good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good. In fact, I think they're going to use Orton to possibly try kayfabe injure Cena for a month so he can go do his movie.
I think they'll have Cena win because the current plan is to have Cena versus Lesnar at the Rumble again.
See,
They can't have Orton Lesnar before that.
I think there's going to be shenanigans. I think the Authority's probably going to turn on Orton, forcing Cena to kind of side with Orton.
That makes me sad.
Randy Orton and John Cena win the tag team championships.
We've seen worse. We've seen, Edge tag with just about everybody.
And
So
Christian tag with anybody.
It was Edge and Hogan at one point. Let's remember that.
Though Christian had better partners than
Edge and RKO, Edge and Cena were the tag champions one time, weren't they?
We've also had Big Show with pretty much everyone.
And yeah, Christian with everyone, Big Show with everyone, Jericho with everyone.
Big Show Jericho, Big Show Miz.
Oh yeah,
Big
Kane's had like 18 tag team titles with like 9 different partners.
They were all fabulous.
All fabulous, all perfect in their own individual way.
If only he could tag with Shark Boy.
Oh my god. Alright. Alright.
Kane ruins everything.
Dude, Kane and Sharkable. Just all my money. All my money.
He just had a little problem down there.
Well, yeah, of course, it just popped up from that. Only if they wear matching vests, though.
What's the first match on the card?
Nikki versus some stiff.
Usos Goldust Stardust, because that is always the first match.
That's the pre-show.
Match.
Yeah, that's the pre-show, which makes me very sad.
Oh, is that the pre-show?
It's the pre-show, and that's just irritating.
Wait, no, I thought the pre-show was Mizdow talking to Miz on Miz TV.
Nope.
No, it's Mizdow TV.
It is Mizdow TV.
Wait, it's a tag match on the pre-show with the Usos and the Dust Brothers.
The Dustices.
The brothers Dust.
Dust squared.
Whatever.
Squared.
It's not science fiction, it's science fact. Dust squared.
Awful catchphrase.
Put it on a t-shirt. It sells, trust me.
Yeah, put it on a t-shirt and burn it.
I mean, not everything can be Shark Boy and Kane quality.
Two sons of a son of a plumber.
The son
I'm
of
dead. He needs to be the son of a plumber. I would love to watch Cody as the son of a plumber. Put him in spots. He's done
Yeah.
gold. Now let him do Dusty.
That
Would Shark
nearly
Boy
that,
and Kane be Shell in Hell?
that wow. That no. Wow.
Bin and bin, thanks.
I guess it would be Shell no.
Yeah, it could be Shell, no. It could be just Shell, yeah, because Shell sounds like hell. You can just do
Shell
that.
yeah. Shell yeah. Yeah. There you go. Shell yeah. The whole son of a plumber idea, walking in Dusty Rhodes' footsteps, nearly sent Dustin Rhodes to an early grave. So let's not wish that on Cody.
Yeah, that was like a rough part of Goldust's career.
Telling you, I'm still waiting on the crowbar. Still waiting on that Stardust crowbar.
He's he hit gold with gold. Hard to find hit gold with gold dust. He's been running that gimmick for 20 years.
I was just disappointed they make the Joker reference with Dean Ambrose and not Goldust. So Stardust even.
Stardust needs to kidnap.
He's the
one of the-
Riddler. He's not Joker.
Yeah, he's obviously the Riddler, but I actually want him to kidnap one of the Usos. Obviously, he needs to kidnap one of the Usos, put him in a shed, beat him half to death with a crowbar, and then blow up the shed.
No, that was Joker, dude.
It
That
was the Joker. It's
It's-
a great scene.
Skeletor.
No.
Skeletor. He needs to kidnap Naomi.
He kidnapped.
Wow. I don't really know what to do with that one.
Dude, I saw.
Total Divas as well.
There was, because, back when NXT was a terrible, terrible game show, Naomi was on it, and they did this weird thing with all the divas who were on that season, where they made them look at, like, the torso of a dude, of a male wrestler, and I'm trying to figure out who it is by their torso, and friggin' Cody Rhodes has popped up, and within a quarter second, Naomi said Cody Rhodes. So that made me question their relationship.
Was that when he tried to grow chest hair?
To be fair, Cody Rhodes does have a somewhat of a distinctive torso.
Yeah, but no one else answered. She just lunged at the buzzer or whatever. It was like Cody Rhodes.
She's allowed to lunge at whatever she would like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we know what you like, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of matches at Hell in a Cell that I'm finding difficult to predict. I would love to see Mizdow and Sheamus.
Dude, I really want a wacky finish where friggin' the Miz gets knocked out, like the ref gets knocked down, Miz gets knocked out of the ring, Mizdow like schoolboys him, and then the ref wakes up and Sheamus is schoolboyed in such a way where he can only see the tights and legs of Mizdow, and so he counts the 3, and Mizdow wins the U.S. title.
That would be awesome.
That would be the greatest thing. It's like twin magic, but even more insane and ridiculous.
The thing with Twin Magic is that it actually worked because they used to actually look alike.
Yep, before they got massive boobs and a huge ass.
But that was always the one way I could distinguish them because she was always a little thicker. Nikki was always a little thicker.
Yeah. I'm not cool with the Bellas calling each other fat on TV.
I don't understand how anybody could call Brie fat.
Yeah, well, that was it. It was,
She's borderline anorexic.
They called each other fat on television. That, to me, is not a good sign. Bad, be a star. Bad.
Well,
Situation.
to me, that's also a thing. Like they're gay, catering to kids. Kids are impressionable. They're incredibly impressionable about their bodies.
Especially girls.
Can we get some terrible childhood segments that are like have a old like camera filter on them, where like Nikki steals Bree's toys and stuff. Like just to add some heat to this feud.
Right, Nikki or Bree, who wins?
I hope that it's Nikki because Nikki is twice as talented.
Yeah, I hope Nikki wins by like torture racking her out of existence, like how Sheamus powerbombed Jamie Noble out of existence. Just came out of the time warp like a month ago.
Yeah, I want to hear like a JR. She's broken in half.
Yeah, the freaking rack breaker just ends her. Career's over. She wears like a Daniel Bryan brace.
That would be perfect.
Well, I think.
They both come out with a neck brace on.
Well, the only reason those two have come back was for Total Divas, right?
Yeah,
They originally had their run from 2008 to 2012. And something tells me that this match is a way to write one of them out.
no, because they're working as the other one's bitch for the next month.
Yeah, but there's a point of stipulation that if they don't comply, then they have to leave.
Alright.
Yeah, that basically confirms Nikki's going to win, and then Bree Bree's gonna do something that gets her fired.
No, I suggested it was going to be the other way around because Nikki wanted to do real estate, did she not?
Well, she has a real estate license.
Nah, Nikki, I don't think Nikki's going anywhere. I think she's put way too much effort into this. She's actually become a credible wrestler. She's established a new persona. I don't think she's going anywhere.
She's been working out like crazy with John Cena. Like she's been doing some stuff.
I could see Brie leaving.
Yeah, she has put like from just visually. I don't know how much she's actually done, but just looking at it, looks like she's put zero effort into anything.
Time shall tell. And speaking of time, we are pretty much done except for the one final question. Ambrose or Rollins? Who wins?
DQ.
Oh, that's funky.
Oh, Rollins will just gain this PS. Yeah. There is something.
I don't know, friggin' Ambrose, they do a superplex spot off the cell through 8 burning tables. JR like just appears out of the smoke and then yells, "By God," and then vanishes.
Slobberknocker!
Stop the damn match!
Yeah, he appears to yell, "Stop the damn match." They both have families, by God. And then he just evaporates out of existence.
There's somebody's son in there.
He'll appear
Guys.
again when we need him most.
Okay. There is something else I need to say. For the people watching, we are creating an app for this so that you can hopefully get a bit more involved. What would you guys like to see? Let me know at Lammy332 on Twitter.
I'm gonna guess Dean Ambrose wins. There, got that out there.
Hard to say. I could see them, I think it's going to be Ambrose, and then they'll have that rematch at the next BTV.
This is supposed to end the
Regardless of
feud.
whether they're saying this is going to end the feud, because I don't think anything is going to end the feud. Much to the fans,
Chagrin.
Yeah, chagrin.
not to the chagrin, but much to the fans, delight, enjoyment that they'll be able to see this feud again and again because it is a good feud. Yeah, I'm just gonna be out there. I'm gonna say Dean Ambrose is gonna win.
Yeah, doesn't Dean have to win?
He's lost twice now.
And with that, we are done.
Ms. Down for life, Shark Boy forever.
I've actually got one last prediction very quickly.
Time's up.
Reigns comes back to spear Rollins.
Time's up, fool.
No. Shark
Comes
Boy.
up through the mats.
Shark Boy stunners them both, pins them both, wins, and beats Brock. There we go.
And then goes and eats donuts.
Well, there you have it. Sharp Boy returns a Hell in a Cell. Final prediction, 186% correct. A huge thank you to everyone watching last night. Please keep all your great questions coming in so that we can answer them each and every week. Do not miss Showdown on Thursday, where we're going to be joined by Mind of Carnage, who will be discussing a range of great topics with myself, Paul, and Skeletor. So
Whoa.
please feel free to tune in usual time. You can catch us all on Twitter. And of course, don't forget, keep an eye out for the LOWIE announcements that are going to be coming. As we said, we've already announced the first one, and that is the best of the worst attires of 2014. I've been your host, Levels of Wrestling, and we've been on LoWdown. Good night.
Peace
Hell
out.
yeah.